Welcome to the Ultimate Gaming Realm, and this is your curator, Dixon, logging on.
How's it going, everyone? This is the Ultimate Gamer welcoming you all to another episode of House of Horror. Tonight's game I will be reviewing Personal Nightmare. And this game is a freaking nightmare. A frustrating gameplay. You'll see what I mean.
The game was released in 1989 for the MS-DOS, Commodore Amiga, and Atari ST home computers. The one I'm going to be currently playing is the MS-DOS version, and this is the one I bought from goodoldgames.com when it was on sale. It's a point-and-click directional type of game, and it's also a type-and-command game. And sometimes, depending on what game you're playing, I wouldn't mind that sort of thing, but games like this can make your blood pressure go over the roof. In other words, it can really piss you off. When I first got Personal Nightmare on sale from goodoldgames.com, and judging from the looks of the game, it looks like it might be an interesting game. Well, I wouldn't say it's bad, but it's not good either. I would say it's between mediocre or average. Well, we'll get to the details in a bit. The game is developed and published by Horrorsoft, which is actually known as Adventuresoft, a UK video game developer who is best known for the work of the Simon the Sorcerer series. Under the name Horrorsoft, they had the legendary Scream Queen and a very dear friend of mine, Elvira, as the main model and promoter for the Horrorsoft team. And they even made two Elvira games. The first one was released in 1990, which is the second game that Horrorsoft did. And the third game was the other Elvira game, Elvira 2, The Jaws of Cerberus. Sadly, goodoldgames.com doesn't have either of the Elvira games yet. Hopefully they do eventually. And the fourth game that Horrorsoft did, and it's also the last one they did, last but not least, Waxworks. Yes, Horrorsoft only made 4 games and then they went back to their Adventuresoft brand. Both Personal Nightmare and Waxworks are available on goodoldgames.com for the regular price of $5.99 each. But like I said before, they don't have the Elvira games. At least not yet. Hopefully they will eventually. The game is based on a real-time event from day and night transitions. The story is a little complex to explain, but it's about some wicked things going on for no apparent reason, and your job as a vicar's son is to find out what's causing all this, including finding out what happened to your father. I have to give the game some credit because the plot is kinda interesting, and the game has some disturbing images or scenes for a 1989 game, like a corpse hidden behind a wall. Now that was shocking. A beautiful scared woman in peril before sacrifice. Toy soldiers coming into your dreams and shooting you to death. And there's other disturbing scenes that you'll run into in the game, such as more dead corpse. The game was quite ambitious with these ideas during the time. But this game does have a lot of issues. Personal Nightmare. More likely it's a personal fucking headache. That's right. The graphics are very dated, the navigation's dreadful, the directions is not self-explanatory but rather more confusing as hell. Even with an online walkthrough, the game relies on trial and error. And you have to get certain things done right the first time without wasting time, or you die and fail. Plus, typing in the proper key command can be a real fucking pain in the ass. especially when you're in a hurry. It's kind of like with the Sierra games from the 80s, except those ones are more enjoyable once you get the hang of them. But Personal Nightmare can be a boring and frustrating game. Now here are the worst parts of the game, especially when you fuck up. Now here's one of the most annoying things I have to put up with in video game history. A mortar car tries to run you down, but you have to dodge it by hitting north and east back and forth. And here's the worst part, and it doesn't have a clear pattern. You have to keep hitting north and east back and forth until the guy crashes into a tree. No, that's not the worst part. It gets worse than that. It crashes when it wants to. Sometimes when you're doing this part, it can either take less than a minute or a half hour. Now what the shit is this? And during the time when you're trying to dodge the car, you have to keep listening to these annoying sound effects over and over again. And not to forget to mention, this game doesn't have no music. Just early IBM sound effects. About fucking time, douchebag. Another big issue about this game is like if you get caught trespassing, you get sent to jail. Well, that's actually realistic, of course. Now here's the bigger issue. If you like have stolen items, even items you find in the garbage can or on the streets, like a finder's keeper thing, they count as stolen items. And if they were like found on you or in the hotel room, even in your personal luggage, especially these are the items you desperately need for the quest. And if you were caught with them, you still get sent to jail. What the fuck? Were they supposed to have a warrant and serve it to me first before they searched my luggage in the first place? Son of a bitch. Does anybody in the town realize I'm actually trying to find the answer to all the strange things happening in this town? It seems like all the citizens of the town wants all the strange shit to go unquestioned. I don't fucking get it. Personal Nightmare is not a bad game, but it's dated and out of the league for many gamers, so I wouldn't recommend it. But there are superior versions of Personal Nightmare for other home computers, such as the Commodore Amiga and the Atari ST. But I'm not even sure if I recommend those ones either. But if they ever do make a remake of the game, it would be worth checking out. I'm pretty sure that the game was decent for its time. I just think Horrorsoft rushed the game because their main focus was on Elvira games. Which I don't blame them, because I love Elvira, the beauty queen of horror movies. On the other hand, Horrorsoft's final game, Waxworks, is a first-person dungeon crawler adventure RPG game, pretty much like the Ultima Underworld series. And Waxworks is also a Far Cry superior game over Personal Nightmare. But then again, Waxworks also has some moments where you can get frustrated if you get lost in the game, that is. I will get into full details on Waxworks someday, but now it's time to call it an episode. Thank you all very much for watching, and happy Halloween month to all.
Ultimate Gamer out.
And this is Dixon of the Ultimate Gaming Room, logging off.